We're checking out True Crime Stories by Ryan Baker. Let's go and get back into it.
Christy Sheats. Located just northeast of Houston, the city of Katy has a population of 16,158, according to 2015 statistics. On June 24, 2016, a 911 dispatcher received a chilling call. At first, the dispatcher did not hear a single voice talking to her, as was the norm for most calls. Rather, she could hear several voices in the background. Then she heard the sound of a female crying, and the words, "Please forgive me. Please, don't shoot." This was followed by a male voice that begged, "Please, don't point that gun at her." A gunshot sounded, and the female voice yelled to the dispatcher, "I'm shot." The dispatcher answered, "Hello? What's your address?" There was no response. The phone went dead. Fatal meeting. That phone call originated from the home of Jason and Christy Sheats. Christy, age 42, was born in Decatur, Alabama, as was Jason. They were childhood sweethearts who eventually moved to Katy, Texas, raising their two daughters, 17-year-old Madison and 22-year-old Taylor. Jason worked for Oxy, a Houston-based oil company, as an IT consultant. In recent years, the Sheats had experienced marital problems, and Jason was planning to divorce Christy. On the day of that fateful phone call, it was Jason's 45th birthday, and Christy had called a family meeting around 5 p.m. Jason and their daughters expected the meeting to be about the looming divorce. The family gathered around the dining table. Within seconds, the unimaginable occurred. Christy pulled out a .38 caliber revolver that she had been hiding under the table. She pointed it at Taylor and shot her in the back as she tried to run away from the table. Christy then turned to Madison and shot her in the neck. Jason ran and took refuge behind the living room couch before fleeing with his daughters out the front door. The daughters only made it to the street before both of them collapsed. Christy started running toward Taylor, who was lying on the street, while a neighbor offered Jason shelter in her home. The police, who arrived in time to witness this chaos, used trees and parked cars as shields. They saw Christy kneeling over Taylor's body, ready to shoot her a second time. Police ordered her to drop the gun. When she refused, they shot her. A medical helicopter took Taylor to a local hospital where she died on arrival. Madison and Christy's lifeless bodies lay on the street in front of their home. The gun that Christy used was a gift from her grandfather, to whom she was extremely close. Downward spiral. Christy was deeply impacted when her grandfather died in 2012. Compounding her grief was the fact that her grandmother died 2 months later. Jason would later tell detectives that his wife suffered from depression during this time and became a heavy drinker. She had been admitted to a private mental health hospital for suicide attempts 3 times over a 4-year period. Jason stated that Christy took a variety of prescription medications and was seeing a therapist. A neighbor informed the police the couple had separated, but then recently reconciled. Before the shooting, Christy had no history of violence toward others. Christy had stopped working after the death of her grandfather. Previously, she had worked as a hairstylist, as an executive assistant to the vice president of a transportation company, and as a receptionist at Clean Canvas Tattoo Removal. This was a part-time position that she had held from January 2015 to May 2015 when she was fired. The owner, John Hollis, had originally thought that Christy was the perfect fit for the job. In an interview with People, he stated, "She was very pleasant when she wanted to be. This was in front of the customers." He went on, "The times when she wasn't pleasant were times when I assumed that whatever was going on at home was getting to her."
Hit a thumbs up button.
Hollis also indicated that Christy had spent some time living in an apartment away from the rest of the family. She would flip-flop in her explanations about this to Hollis, sometimes saying that she was separated from her husband, and other times stating that she was going to divorce him. It was erratic. It was highs and lows, Hollis continued. I wouldn't say it was deterioration. I would say it was peaks and valleys. Mixed messages. The interviews conducted by the media with those who knew her and through the Sheats' active use of social media provide a different perspective on Christy. A friend, Catherine Knowles, commented to People magazine, "She loves her daughters. I have no idea what could possibly make a mother who loves her daughters as much as she did. What could cause a person to snap? The part of Christy that I knew was a very kind, loving mother." Knowles continued, "Within 20 seconds of meeting her, we were talking about her being a mom. That was her mission in life. That was her everything, her 2 daughters." On Daughter's Day in September of the year prior to the shooting, Christy posted the following message to her Facebook account. "Happy Daughter's Day to my 2 amazing, sweet, kind, beautiful, intelligent girls," she wrote. "I love and treasure you both more than you could ever possibly know." 3 years before the shooting, Taylor posted the following message to her Facebook account, honoring her mother on Mother's Day. "Mom, you are so selfless, as you always put our whole family before yourself and never ask for anything in return. The post read, "You're so kind and loving, as you always remind us of just how much you care and how proud you are of everything we do. You're so intelligent and fun to be around, because I feel like I can talk to you for forever, now about anything." The post concluded, "You're one of the strongest people I know, if not the strongest. And you have had to overcome so much in your life, but you still manage to love us and put your everything into being a mom. You're so encouraging, as you always push us to do our absolute best, even when we can't muster up the strength to do it ourselves. You're such a blessing to have as a mother and friend, and I truly appreciate you and all that you do. Happy Mother's Day to my amazing mommy, and I love you." 2 years before the shooting, Christy posted on her Facebook page, "I am truly a Southern gal. I was born in Alabama, but have been living in Texas for 15 years. I have 2 amazing daughters I simply adore. They are my everything. I thank God for every breath He allows me to take." When a reporter for the Houston Chronicle interviewed one of Christy's neighbors, Austin Enke, he stated, "They were always cheerful and never depressed. You never heard anything bad about them." While another neighbor told a local news station, "The mother was nice. You wouldn't expect it if they told you this was going to happen. I don't think anybody, at least a sane person, would do that." In one Facebook post, Christy referred to herself as being Baptist, as well as conservative, and strong supporter of the Second Amendment, which provides the right for gun ownership. In one Facebook post, she wrote, It would be horribly tragic if my ability to protect myself or my family were to be taken away. But that's exactly what Democrats are determined to do by banning semi-automatic handguns. The last argument. On the day of the killing, Christy and Jason had gotten into an argument over Taylor, who had a fiancé, Juan Sebastian Lugo. Taylor and Lugo started seeing each other in 2011, and he had given her a promise ring in 2013. Christy wanted to ground Taylor and prohibit her from seeing Lugo. Jason argued that he was agreeable to grounding Taylor, but they could not forbid her from seeing Lugo. Others knew Jason to be a doting father to his daughters. The reason for Taylor's punishment was not known, but later that morning, Jason told Christy, "This would be the last birthday that you are going to ruin." After the shooting, Madison Davey, a friend of the Sheats family, spoke to a local news reporter and related a conversation that he'd had with Jason on the morning of the shooting. According to Davey, Jason said he had told Christy on the day of the shooting, "Just shoot yourself. Make it easy on all of us. Just shoot yourself." He said Christy replied back to him, "No, that's not what this is about. This is about punishing you." Davey then told the reporter, "I always knew something would happen, but I never thought she would do this. Christy was toxic for the family. She was mentally unstable. He, Jason, would do anything to protect them, and he tried to, but Christy was out to kill that day." Police believe that Christy shot their daughters because that would cause the greatest pain for Jason, adding that Christy could have easily just killed Jason if she wanted. Knowing how much Jason loved his girls, killing them and letting him live would create the greatest suffering for him.
That's some evil stuff, man. She evil. So she gonna kill. So okay. Oh, so the daughters ain't had nothing to do with it. She wanted to get back at him by taking his daughters out. She was insane. She snapped. But you killing your own daughters, fool. That's so crazy. She took out her own daughters. Oh my God. Dang. So she was trying to get back at him they ain't had nothing to do with it. What kind of, that's just, wow, man. This is, I remember this being on the news. It's crazy because she looked like she's from Dallas. Most people from Dallas are conservative. I'm pretty sure she she passed away in 2016. This happened. So this is before Trump. Was Trump in office 2016? I'm trying to think. Was he in office? Let me see. When was the? I think he wasn't in office yet, or he had just gotten to the office or getting his first term when because that was Obama's last year and he ran. So I'm thinking that maybe. Well, be that as it may, she didn't like Democrats, so she was Republican. So had she lived, she would have been a big Trump supporter. But I mean, that doesn't excuse the fact that what made her snap to take out her daughters, both of them at the same time, to get back at him. They have nothing to do with it. That's crazy. That's insane. Anyway, what y'all think? Have y'all heard this story? Do y'all know any more details? Let's talk about it in the comments, man. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all watching. Boom. This is like when you can see, you see what I'm saying? That's me right there. And I can talk, hey y'all, I can stop it. Boom. So this is my company. This is Charles Under's World, $99, for a photographer. Let's go and get back into it. Let's play it and see he's recording. This is a lot more easier. So that is Charles Under's photographer right there. Beautiful guy, beautiful pictures. So y'all go ahead and subscribe. And
Nonetheless, Terry just unloaded on him, said Martinez. I could see him getting angrier and angrier. I heard your fucking track, Dre said, in Terry's recollection. Fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, Mr. Ultimate Breaks and Beats, she yelled back, referencing a popular series of vinyl albums containing sample-ready breakbeats. One more fucking word, he added, a threat she ignored. And he punched me in the eye, she said. And when I didn't go down, he punched me in the mouth. He punched her hard. Really hard.
For more of these fascinating stories and true crimes, subscribe to Charles Arnis World. Thanks for watching.